The Southern Mallee Giants report. I don't think we've ever had as big a giant report as this one, for not quite the right reasons. Sammy White is with us. G'day, Sammy. How are you?
Yeah, going well, thanks, man.
Well, those Warwick Eagles could consider themselves giant killers in more ways than one, Sammy. It went pear-shaped last week against what is coming a massive new adversary and a rivalry that maybe is going to build over years to come. Southern Mallee Giants get done by the bottom side who haven't won a game all season. The Warwick Eagles 8-14, Southern Mallee Giants 8-12. They must have celebrated like you've never seen Eagles celebrate at their home deck at Anzac Park.
Yes, you're not wrong, man. They did just celebrate. Obviously not the result we wanted going into the round. Full credit to the Warwick Eagles though. They come out firing from the first bounce, and I'm not sure whether our boys were a bit on the back foot or not switched on, but the Warwick boys played well throughout the whole game, and right up to the end, because we had the 14-point lead with about 5 minutes to go, and Warwick were able to kick a couple of goals and a couple of points to put themselves in front, and just scraped over the line. So very disappointing for us, but hats off to those boys.
Yeah, well said. And I've got to say, you were missing Tim McCormack, who broke his toe the week before against Neil, a very important defender. You came back into the side, and I know that you wanted to run for a half or so of football, but apparently they left you out there a bit longer to try and stem the flow because Warwick were coming.
Yeah, so I played in the forward line this week to ease back in, and that original plan was to play a half and have the second half off, but it was pretty close to half time, so I decided to stay out for another quarter. I didn't do much, man. I was playing a full forward, and it didn't really come up much, so I don't think I was, I definitely didn't help the cause, but so my plan got thrown out the window a bit.
Well, you did help the cause somewhat. You did kick 2 goals, and unaccustomed for you to be down that end of the field, but good effort. Luke Marnie booted 3 for you. On their side, Carl Cheney and Dylan Watts. Watts, I think, emerged as one of their best players and very talented. Joe McKinnon, their big forward that's come to the club, 3 from him, and Ryan McKenzie 2. Their key forwards did what they had to do, and late did it beautifully, and well played to them. And in a way, the couple of players that were arrested too that are in the Gold Coast for you blokes. Now looking at it, it was probably not the right decision.
Those boys have had a pretty solid season, obviously coming up from the Gold Coast each week. So, I still think it was probably the right decision. It's the boys that played on Saturday just didn't bring their A game, unfortunately, and it cost us.
Certainly did. It was a massive day for the Warwick Eagles, who are still cock-a-hoot about beating the Southern Mallee Giants in a massive game of football at Anzac Park. It was great for their first win for them. The Giants still didn't affect you because in other matches it was interesting. Ararat absolutely flogged the Horsham Saints 21-14 to 8-9. So very big win. That probably gave you a bit of protection in some respect.
Yeah, well, we're pretty... the ladder can't really change now. The ladder's sort of fixed at this stage. Even if Minyip win this weekend and we happen to lose to Demons, we'll still finish in third spot just because we've got a better percentage. So, it's sort of, the ladder's sort of fixed at this stage. So.
It's very much fixed at this stage, but I'll tell you what, the very important time for the Southern Mallee Giants form going into the finals. We'll have a look at that in a moment because we'll head now. We'll go over to the reserve grade, and on the weekend it was another cliffhanger. The Eagles celebrated again, 6-7-43 to the Southern Mallee Giants, 6-4-40. The Giants got so close, and with a number of players who are from their regular side were playing up in seniors, it was a very, very close match. And probably a good performance by the Giants to get close to the Eagles in this one.
Yeah, it was also a bit of a disappointing game too, really, Flowman. Obviously the seniors had a good chance of winning, and the twos definitely had their chance to win as well. And that would have, got them 2 wins in a row, which would have been a great way to finish off a pretty difficult season. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. The Warwick boys were a bit too good, and got over us in that last quarter. Like you said, it might have been a different story if the twos had a couple couple of players that, back in their team that got dragged up to the seniors, but it wasn't to be.
It wasn't, but I'll tell you what, the fellas that did turn up to play, I thought it was a very credible performance, albeit Warwick are just the one place now above you on the table. You were really fighting for that same position in the reserve grade. Let's have a look at the goals. And I did say this quite clearly, that I was expecting that the big man and the great man, Taylor Donnan, to actually lift. He certainly did lift. He booted 4. Oh, he was up and at it and in his best form of his career.
And happy about it too, Flowman. Gee, he was happy. He wouldn't shut up about it after the game. He should have kicked 5 or 6, he reckons, but passed him off. So, big day for Turbo.
And Mick Saunders and Jake Vandenberg scored. Hudson McCredden, he has really emerged and a very, very good player. And Cody Franklin, another young gun of the club. Dan Garner has had a bit of senior football. Caden Petchel, another of the young guns. And young Jaden Cook, another of these kids. And even Tristan Blair from your recent of these kids that are coming through. Great to see them in your best players.
Yeah, that's it. And they're the ones that are getting to training both nights a week, Flowman. And and it's been great to see their improvement throughout the year. They've been consistent coming to training, their skills and their footy smarts have definitely improved out of sight. So it's great to see them getting rewarded with those best, mentioned in the best each week.
Yeah, certainly is. Nick Germano with 3 for Warwick, and Patrick Morgan, Dan McKenzie and Justin Appledore were good players for them. Over to the 14s, and we were hoping that they might be able to cause a monumental upset, but the day started well for the Warwick Eagles, and they beat the Southern Mallee Giants in the 14, 8-6, 54 to 2-2 14, albeit your Southern Mallee Giants showed that they are a very competitive side and they're the best side outside of the top 5 this year.
Yeah, that's it, Flowman. It was an early start for the boys this week. They started at the regular 14 times, as there was another game after them. But unfortunately the boys couldn't quite get there. I'm not sure whether or not they're starting to get tired from from the big season, but Warwick were a bit too good on the day.
Warwick have beaten them both times, and that's been the key. The Eagles are one of the clubs that they needed to get above in the 14s. I mean, Eagles are 4th, Ararat are 5th, so they were the 2 clubs. You look at the Saints, the Stawell and the Horsham D's, well and truly way above the quality and the depth of players that they've got on their list, but they are the 2 clubs to go one step further and get a finals berth. You'd have to beat either Ararat or the Warwick Eagles. It wasn't to be in either of those 2 fixtures during the last 2 weeks. Let's have a look, though, at the better players and goal scorers. Ollie Credlin, Spencer Williams, Colt Decker, Jackson Moore and Isaac Credlin. Good on those lads. And 1 each to Jackson Moore and Maxie Roberts getting the goals. And on the other side of the ledger for Warwick, 4 goals to Evan George. Probably the difference up forward. 2 for Oscar Allett and 1 to Penny, and also Hayden Pollack, with Hayden Pollack, Tommy Penny and Tyson Garlick, the better players for the Eagles lads. What was the feeling like with the young lads coming off the ground? Was there a sense of disappointment they wouldn't be playing finals? Was that talked about at all after the game?
It was mentioned. I think the boys have known for a few weeks now that it was going to be pretty difficult to make it, seeing that Ararat had those extra 2 points because they had a draw. So it was always going to be difficult to ask to make finals. So they've known for a few weeks that it was maybe possibly a bit out of reach, but so they were disappointed because they have battled hard all year and played some really good football. And they definitely had a chance throughout the year to potentially make that first finals campaign. But like you said, not to be. But the boys will sort of regroup and go again this week.
They will. Talking about going again this week, it's at Hopeton. It's a premiership reunion. There's reunions plus more reunions that have happened over the years for the old red and whiters out of Hopeton. And they've got the 73 boys coming back, the 83 seniors, the 93 reserves and the 2013 C-grade netball. It should be a big day up at Hopeton.
Yeah, no, it's great to see all those reunions happening this week. It's always good to see past players and people come back to the club and support the Giants now. So it should be a really good weekend. I'm looking forward to catching up with a few.
Yeah, great to have them back now. There's also a milestone game. Very rarely during a milestone game do you get somebody to get their own soundtrack, but Tyler Lehman, he's got his own soundtrack going here. Oh, photographs with music and all. I'll tell you what, Tyler Lehman, 200 games. A fair bit on the line here for the great man.
Yes, he's a great fella, Tyler. He's heart and soul of the club. He's done a lot for the club over the years. Obviously, out in the farm, just out of Beulah, he's got a lot of history with the Beulah Football Club. His old man Teddy Lehman, I think he played 500 games for Beulah, and then his granddad also played for Beulah. So plenty of history there, and great to see that he's going to tick over 200 games.
Yeah, great stuff too from him. And for young Ollie Credlin, he was awarded the very first Red Caboose Under-14 Junior Ambassador Award, which is great stuff. The Giants pretty happy with young Ollie. He's coming along as a good young footballer, young Ollie Credlin.
Yeah, he is. He's showing a fair bit of talent out there, and definitely got senior potential in him, I reckon, if he keeps working hard, and you never know what will happen in the next couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Cole Funky Williams is going to be playing at Hopeton on Saturday night at the big reunion, and then on Sunday it's the golf day. And if there are any couple of blokes in your footy side that might actually be out in the golf course on Sunday?
Yeah, we've actually got a pretty good turnout, I think. It's going to be a 3-day, three-man Ambrose competition, so which makes it a bit better, makes you feel a bit better about your score at the end. Surely you can get one good hit out of three. So I think, Cole's going to be playing. Josh Webster's going to have a swing. Brad O'Cara. It's quite a few of us going to go down and, try our best. I don't think any of us hit a ball too well or a bit of a hack, but, we'll see how we go.
So amongst those names and those going down there, are there any better golfers than there are footballers in those boys?
Definitely not out of those. Coleman's definitely a better footballer than he is a golfer. But I don't know, in the twos, Jack Flavel, he's a gun, apparently. I haven't actually played with him, but can hit a ball.
Yeah, great stuff. All right, it's going to be a massive weekend of football as your blokes get a chance to come up against another ripping side, the Horsham D's. Got to nail them this weekend at Hopeton.
Yeah, that's it. Huge game for man. We've got a few names, like big names back in, but we thought we had a few back in last week as well, and we got done. So we're going to have to definitely bring our A game and not underestimate the Horsham Demons. They're obviously a proud club, and we want to finish their season off strong. And then obviously we want to head into our finals campaign with a bit of momentum. So can't express how important this game is.
How do you beat them? You should. They're a younger brigade, though, with those number of changes. Who are the key changes coming back in?
So we've got the coach, Kieran Delahunty's back in. Josh Webster's coming, and Rupert Sangster are both coming in off hamstrings. And then Jacko Fisher and Liam Nelson will both be coming back from the Gold Coast as well. They're the main ends. So some really quality football players there. Obviously, all got great reputations and that. But it'll be hopefully just need to get a bit of momentum. Going into finals.
Excellent stuff up at Hopeton, your home deck, the big reunion crowd, and hopefully a big win across both the seniors and the reserves boys too. A big challenge for them, and I think for the 14 lads, a real challenge for them, obviously, with the Horsham D's at the top of the table and unassailable Mercy ruling everybody in the first quarter this year. So tough day for the other grades. But we'll catch up with you next week, Sammy, when we do it all again to review the season, the home and away season, and head to finals.
Thanks, man.